Guys, the SLY Guy podcast has a Patreon. And on our Patreon, we have weekly guest episodes. We have weekly bonus episodes. We have early access to this podcast. And we have reams of other things. So if you want to support the podcast and see all the behind the scene footage, look at stuff with me in it and guests and other things, head on over to www.patreon.com/SLY Guy podcast and subscribe for as little as £2 a month to help me help you, and do you help me, vice versa. I am less than 2 weeks away from my biggest ever show at the Ulster Hall, Bits and Pieces, and there are tickets available via the link in the description of the video. I'm not doing another show next year, I don't think. Definitely not a big one, but this will be the last time you get to see me in a big room for a while anyway, for the foreseeable, until I decide I'm ready to do it again. So if you want to come, I love it. I love you to be there. It'll be a great time. Get your tickets now and I'll see you there. And before I go to the Ulster Hall, I'm going on a series of little mini work in progress shows. I'm going to be in Macrofelt. I'm going to be in Antrim, which was actually last night, so you've missed it. I'm going to be in Bangor. I'm going to be in Newry. I'm going to be in Derry. So if you want to go to any of those little towns, you want to see me there in the work in progress shows, check the link in the description as well and come and see me there. The SLY Guy podcast is brought to you in association with Modest Beer. That's right, the OG sponsor of the podcast from day one. Modest Beer have been here, and if you want to know more about Modest Beer, then know that they've been here and you want to buy their gear, head on over to www.modestbeer.co.uk where you can buy their merch or their beer, which is kind of like their merch anyway. And if you want to just support them and follow them on social media, see where they do some beer tasting nights, some things along those lines, see where it stocks Modest Beer, follow them on Instagram, Facebook or Twitter at Modest Beer. Guys, this week's episode is a guest episode. We have one of my favourite local comedians and one of my best friends in the local comedy scene, William Thompson. This week's episode, it's probably a little bit different than usual. It's a bit of a bonce heavy episode. So if you're in the mood to listen to people being miserable and stuff, this is the podcast for you. If not, maybe give it a miss. But hey, I'm just here to say that's an option that you have. Either way, listen or not, it is what it is. I wish you well and enjoy your week. Enjoy the show.
I'm the SLY Guy.
P Diddy has cornered the funeral song market.
And what do you mean by that?
By it doesn't matter if it's a mother that's died young or a smick has just ploughed his car into a fucking field.
Okay.
You're gonna hear every step I take, every funeral. He's cornered that.
And you know
market.
who's lying in his bed ripping the dick off himself for 7 hours over that?
100%.
Sting.
And
Just fucking absolutely ringing it out.
If a head of state dies and they're gonna have a memorial concert,
Yeah.
P Diddy's there. He's on stage. He's
Yeah.
like, put your hands in the air if you miss Benjamin Netanyahu. Every step I take. He's there.
Yeah, R.I.P. President Abe, whatever he's called, the Japanese guy, R.I.P.
Yeah. Put your lighters in the sky for Idi Amin. Every step I take.
But you know who's coming soon? To Dead? The Queen.
Who's coming soon to Dead?
Yeah, the Queen is coming soon to Dead, so I think Paul Diddy
Why are you chatting about
should
shit,
be
man, then?
invited. I think the Queen should have Paul Diddy invited to her funeral.
Paul Diddy?
That's his real name. P stands for Paul.
Patrick Diddy.
Patrick Diddy. I mean, I bet you there's a guy in fucking a hoggle somewhere called Patrick Diddy. I'd Patrick Diddy over there. Just fucking get P Diddy for short.
P Diddy did the concert for Diana. Remember they did that in 07?
And what was he did he have that song then?
He did in 2007.
But she didn't die in 2007.
I know.
She died in 97.
I know, but the concert was 10-year anniversary, the concert for Diana.
Oh, I bet that was a smash.
It was weird. They had cultural. It was a bit of a car crash or an event.
Yeah.
They had who was big at the time, but also classic her favorite.
Yeah, Shola Ama.
Diana's favorite artist. So you had Shakira fucking grinding on White Club Sean.
So who's her favorite? So you're trying to tell me now that P Diddy was Diana's favorite?
See, you forget that song. Yes, it came out when Biggie died.
Yes.
She died not.
I thought he just broke his neck. Biggie.
Biggie.
Oh. Jesus, sorry, it's the wrong podcast.
Are you ready? Yeah, for fans of SLY Guy, Biggie Langston's still out. So that song came out when Notorious B.I.G. was shot dead.
Yes.
You forget Diana died maybe a couple of weeks, a month after. So P Diddy not only brought that, like, he did well off Big dying, but then Diana died. So he had this tribute, your mate's dead song ready to go.
It's see if you write a song, it's like, what's that film based on? It's like fucking the Christmas film where your man does a song, Love Actually or something like that. One of those ones.
Feel it in my fingers.
Where it's like, if you write a Christmas hit, you're set for life. If you write a death song,
what else is a go-to funeral song? Because we've got P Diddy, I'll Be Missing You.
Well, Candle in the Wind, they love that. Elton John popped that for Diana. But the original was for Marilyn Monroe, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Goodbye,
and
Jean.
And he just changed it to Goodbye, English Rose.
Yeah. I know, it's like, what a rip-off guy. Like, he's doing a parody of his own song to be like, fuck, we love you, Diana.
I'll say that though, it's a banger.
Oh,
Saves me. Like, and he's dressed like a full cunt. Yeah. He's got like the powdered wig and the mole on.
He looks like a female community worker from the Shankill, just sitting on his wee piano there going, fucking Diana, I love you. You know, he's like his wee wig and all that. Fucking,
he's Elton John. Step in the Christmas.
Oh, here, have you seen, oh my God, it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. Have you seen, you know, the guy who does like one man show, he does Farmer Michael?
Yeah.
What's his name? Steve-O
Timothy. Why am I
Steve-O Timothy.
I know you down the phone, Jack.
Steve-O Timothy. But he did a parody of Elton John singing at that thing. Did you see it?
The pandemic
thing?
Oh
my God, one of the best sketches I've ever seen. Because why is Elton John singing like that?
I'm saying because he's like, I'm on back of me.
Yeah, and it's like, why's he done it? Unless he's just at his gaff and Beckham phoned him and he's blitzed, and Furnish is like, don't do it, Elton. And he's like, fuck you, David, get the fucking piano. Where's the piano? And Miguel, because that's just the wee guy that works serves in his house. Miguel, bring us the piano. He goes, and Furnish is like, you can't sing, Elton, you'll scunder us.
And he's like, fuck up, we got divorced last year.
Here we go. And he starts playing, and he's like, he's playing quite nicely. Maybe I'll be able to sing, I can never go and body now. And he's fucking next.
They got divorced though, him and David?
No, they haven't.
Yeah, they did, years ago.
No, they didn't.
Years ago.
Furnish and Elton are together as fuck.
No, they're not. Because
yes, they are.
Elton John's talking to his man again, and she didn't speak to him.
No, hold on. If you're telling me now Elton John, David Furnish are divorced, I'm done.
About 2 years ago, mate.
I think this is fake news.
Nope.
David Furnish, hold on. Yeah, they're still married.
No, they're not.
They are.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Look up Elton John divorce. I could have swore they broke up.
They broke up, but then they got back together again.
Did
so
they?
There you go. Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
They reconciled.
I was certain they'd broken up and they were done.
No, hold on. 2000. No, they're just sweet. That's what happened because they were together, and then obviously, you know, quite rightly, they weren't allowed to get married because it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Yeah. And then they got round that.
Do you remember that weird? It's always that, like, now we're so used to gay people, like, it's always weird that people against it in my eyes.
Yeah, it's weird that that's the battle. You know, at the end of the day, if you do, like, obviously we joke about that, and I mean, I'm not a homophobic guy.
He hates gay people.
But my point being,
he sucks dicks out of spite.
Yeah, but listen, I do it well. But the point is that people give off about it, and it's not their problem. It's like, why do they care? It's nothing going to do to you. Like, seeing the DUP are all like fucking anti-gay marriage. Like, you're not getting invited.
You can see that, like, even the sheer process of taking it up the arse is like, they're like, why would you do that? I'm like, have you ever had something put in your ass? It's amazing.
I tell you what, I have on occasion really needed a shit, and when I get that out, the relief. So I imagine a big cock on the way out.
Amazing.
Is as relieving.
It's brilliant. Yeah.
Have you had something in your butt and come
yeah,
out again?
It's class.
What is it? A penis or a?
Never a penis, but other.
Can you stop rocking that chair? It's making so much noise.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm like an old prospector. Back in my day, we used to get fucked in the ass by everybody.
Yeah.
You put stuff up your butt. It's class.
I've not had anything up my butt yet.
It's class.
Not anything up my butt yet.
You're frigid. If you don't go with the arse, you're a weird.
I'm going to try and put something on my arse here real quick. You just hold the fort till I see if I can fucking put something on my arse a bit more.
Alright.
Here we go. I'm just trying to focus in here to put stuff up my arse, okay?
Oh well, you got all of that up?
Yeah. Oh, there you go. And it is a relief.
Yeah. That was a full 6-pack of Sprite.
It is a relief.
Not individually.
I put the full 6-pack up and I feel good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I don't like. There's certain things sexually other people are into that I'm personally not. You know what I mean? And I think that's fine. Like
I'll try anything.
paddling, like getting your whole paddled. I wouldn't fancy
That's
it.
nice.
Haven't had
That's
that.
good.
And does it
I'm
not?
into anything that's like sort of rough, sort of sore.
Right. Okay. So do you like being scrapped and all?
Yep.
I don't like that.
I enjoy it.
I like simple hand job, a beach, sex.
Yeah. It's like even
Hello,
if
guys. Over. That's it.
even in a fight, if I get punched in the head, I enjoy that feeling a little bit.
Like in a sexual way.
No.
I was
But
gonna
like
say, it's weird trying to swing a dick at somebody while you're fucking your dick's just flopping like that.
no, yeah, mid fight and like
Yeah.
two people think,
Oh,
like, why has he
fucking-
got a root?
Hit me again, you fucking bastard! You And you're like, oh, what are you doing?
I was talking about like a P Diddy songwriting thing. Do you ever do you? I know that's
What a return! What a return to topic.
before I forget. Do you love finding out the meaning of songs?
Oh, I was going to say more than anything in the world, but that's a lie. But yes, I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
I do enjoy it.
There are songs like you look back at the meaning and it's either that's mental or it's like you wouldn't think that.
Yeah, like any Beatles song is just about being off your tits on gear.
Hey Jude's a good one.
Yeah, Hey Jude is a nice song, but that's about his John Lennon's
No.
kid Julian.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, it was.
yeah,
But it's not written by John. That's the weird thing.
no, it's written by Paul.
It's written by Paul.
Yeah.
It's like, what's this wee song you've written?
Yeah.
It's about how much of a dickhead you are to your son.
Yeah, it's like, can you imagine? He's sitting there.
I've written a song for your wee lads.
And he's like, "Can I please hear your song there, please, Paul?" And he's like,
I've written it for your son.
"What's it called, Paul?" Tell me about. I'm in the Beatles.
This is Paul and John, the host of the Drive Time
Yeah.
radio show.
Tell me about
I've
it.
written a song for your wheel land there, John.
Okay, and
it's about how you don't fucking speak to the bastards.
Oh, yeah.
He's turned to the zippy for me.
Wow. But yeah, like that's a weird thing when people do that. One of my favorite songwriting stories ever that made me, Dio.
I do know Dio.
So Dio was in.
He sounds like a UDA paramilitary, but he is the
Fucking
singer of Black
Dio.
Sabbath.
But Dio, yeah, was in Black Sabbath, and obviously Ozzy took a break. You know what? I'm going to say Ozzy died.
I thought he got sacked.
Well,
Because
yes.
they were like, oh, he's very drugged up.
Yes, he took a break to let's just say get his head straight, and then they got Dio in, and then they were like, so Ozzy would write a lot of these songs. Do you like to write songs? He was like, yeah, I do, and he went away and he'd write these songs, and then they were like, you're a good singer and all, Dio, we like what you're at, but can you stop with like the sorcery and fucking wizards and shit? And he was like, yeah, sweet. And they're like, oh, and then another song come and be like, again, you're talking
So
about
the songs are like, in the castle, in the hill, in
Yeah.
the magical land of Vania. And you're like, can you just write a love song? The magical princess unicorn comes down from up above.
And then they're like, well, I'm okay. Like, well, if you don't do that, I'm gonna have a problem. He's like, sweet. They sack him. He forms his own band, Dio, and then it's like just writing all this was, we're off to the witch shack.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah. And the wizard spell came down to them.
It's a rainbow in the dark. You're like,
That's
okay,
a fucking tune. No.
Dio's brilliant.
Rainbow in the dark.
But it's like what, like it's just different bands don't like.
Yeah.
That's one thing I loved recently. I watched the Woodstock '99 documentary, which I talked about it at length last week, but I love the fact that Limp Bizkit is just back to being the original Limp Bizkit lineup now. I love that because like a lot of people were like, they're shit,
It's just one of those
but they're great. What do you think of Limp Bizkit? Because you wouldn't have had them in
I have
there.
a friend who really likes them, and I like some of their songs. I personally hate them.
Why, mate?
I think Fred Durst rapping is one of the worst things you'll ever
Yeah.
hear. I like the band.
Yeah.
I like the band. It's when he does that shit rapping he does,
Yeah.
even in like Rolling. All the ladies and the fellas and the people who don't give a fuck. And you're like, oh my god.
But one of the best lyrics of all time,
You're
and again,
49.
I think I said it last week, was the line, and it's so true, you can't even argue it. He goes, hey kids, take my advice. You don't want to step into a big pile of shit. Do you? Nobody wants to step into a big pile of shit at all.
It's just like, do you know when you're a teenager and you're right, like you listen to
Yeah.
angsty music and you're 15,
Yeah.
you're like, this guy gets me, and then you get older
Yeah.
and you're like, yeah, he's 38.
But you know what? I also
weird.
think there's a bit of music that it doesn't matter about what they, because like sometimes you can be like I've been through the phase. I think we all do when you get to this age.
Yeah.
You go through the phase going, I'm keen to know what they're saying in the song and how it pertains to my life.
You're sitting in the car,
You know, you're
90
like,
mile an hour, sitting like this.
Yeah. You're like, what exactly is Max Cavalera trying to tell me when he's singing Roots, Bloody Roots? That's what the beat, and it's like, no, fuck, it's just bangs. You know, some songs just bang. Like,
Chili
you hear
Peppers
Brit
are a great example of that.
of the songs just banging.
Of I don't have a fucking clue what Anthony Kiedis is saying.
Yeah.
And their new song, Black Summer, and he just has a lyric where it goes, platypus of you,
Yes.
the secret life of June. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's called gear. Like that's, like there's a song he goes, when things are beautiful around the world.
Yeah.
Bong ting tong tong. It's like, sorry? What are you doing?
I know for sure.
Yeah.
Ding 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 dong ding 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 dong ding dang.
You're like, hold on. What are you doing? And
Even California, she was born in the state of Mississippi. Her papa was a rocker and her mama was a hippie. In
Yeah.
Alabama, she was bringing hammer.
Hammer?
And you're like, what are you fucking talking about? But at the same time,
Oh.
the melodies are amazing. Even the Zephyr song,
Yeah.
that's if it's a sunny day and you're out in the
Yeah.
car and you're going somewhere, I will play the fucking Fly Away
It's a
on
tune.
My Zephyr.
And Danny
Oh,
California
fucking please talk about it.
is a
Great
great
song.
song. But see the wee Frusciante solo in it. Oh, love that. I love the Chili Peppers.
Either,
But again, if you were to like, if you're a music student, you're like, it's weird. Like the words are weird.
But I think what they're so good about is because you've got Frusciante, who studied a lot of musical theory,
Yeah.
and he is very, very. He scrutinizes a lot of songwriting
Yeah.
and tries to bring in these different waves of musical
Yeah.
theory, so it sounds good. But you have Anthony, who just listens to it,
Yeah.
and he goes with the emotional side
Yeah.
of it. And
Yeah.
he can't read music. I think he can play
Yeah.
bass,
Yeah.
but he can't really play anything.
But Chad and Flea, what a rhythm section they
Oh.
are. They're fucking brilliant.
Flea's amazing.
Oh, and like he just says, he's like, I haven't learned how to play. I just sort of play it quite funky, and
Yeah.
me and Chad just go into a room together and just jam out.
Yeah.
And Chad's just like any middle 50-year-old dad, and Flea's just the fucking
Chance
stoned
if
up
you give a
with his
golden
cocker.
retriever drumsticks.
Oh, but he's so good as well. And
Yeah.
like, have you seen on, was it Saturday Night Live or somewhere else, where he did a drum off of Will Ferrell, who looks exactly like him?
Yes.
That
Have
was
you ever seen
brilliant.
when the Chili Peppers did? It was when Under the Bridge first came out. I think I'll say about 94. I
Yeah.
could be wrong. I don't know. It's before I was born. Leave me alone. But it's when
Never's anything been camper. It's before it's born. Jesus
before
Christ,
Leave Me
leave me
Alone.
alone.
But it was when Frusciante, just before he first left the band,
Yeah.
and he wasn't getting on with
Big
Kiedis,
heroin guy, wasn't he?
and he's deliberately fucking up
Yeah.
playing Under the Bridge. But even when he's fucking it up,
Yeah,
it sounds
sounds
amazing.
good, yeah.
But at the end of it, he's like playing out of time and all, and you just see as the song ends, Kiedis just fucking stares at him, and
Yeah.
then the camera cuts away.
But then didn't they get that other equally normal guy? What's he called?
Dave
then?
Navarro
Dave Navarro.
from
Jane's Addiction.
Jane's Addiction.
Yeah, but he have you heard of him recently? Like there are guys that exist that are sex guys. Sex guy. Dave Navarro is a sex guy. Like, he will just go around doing weird sex stuff.
Yeah.
I was listening to him on a podcast, a comedy podcast about a year ago, and he's talking about like hanging himself off hooks, his skin, like just off the wall. He's like, there's nothing more enjoyable than like hooking like proper meat hooks through his skin. I was like, it's
He's a shank in a butcher
so
shop.
weird. Yeah, but I mean, being a shank,
He looks like a guy who never covers his nipples, no matter
yeah,
where
and
he is.
and he doesn't care, and an entry point to human body is all
He'll
good for
go
him.
in.
He's just that sexual.
What's the album they did with Navarro called?
Oh, I can't remember.
One Hot Minute.
But yeah, was that the one they had airplane and that? Yeah,
And My Friends.
yeah, they were good songs. And
As
Love
Kieran
Roller
Martin calls
Coaster
it, one
wasn't-
shit album.
I know, but also Love Roller Coaster. One of my, I think one of
I
the
like
first
that song. I know the song,
singles
don't like
I
it.
bought. I just loved it.
I like
Yeah.
Airplane.
Yeah.
That's the. I got
Yeah, fame and music is my aeroplane. Is my
Friends are sweet and some are
aeroplane.
jelly. Music is my yellow belly.
Yes. But that's how the Beatles wrote some of their songs.
Just nonsense.
Just they made nonsense and then put the
But
words
they
into
would
it.
do that because they knew
Yeah.
people were just trawling through songs trying to find
Yeah.
meaning in complete nonsense.
Yeah.
So they were like, let's just write a song about an octopus's garden.
Yeah, and let's write a song about a yellow submarine. The kids will love that one, and my kids.
We are the Russian
absolutely love it.
Beatles, you know something.
Yeah, but it is fucking it's good, and that's the thing. I think like music is one of those things that you hear it and you associate, and it's so evocative of emotion.
Yeah.
that you can take you back to a place and time. You can like it, and yes, the words might mean something to you, but then also it just might you like I can listen to Boom by POD and instantly want
Yeah.
to just lift weights. Like
This- yeah.
anytime I want to train.
This is why I
But
try,
no.
when I approach any form, I sound like such a wanker, but any form of art, I try not to get theoretical about it.
Yeah.
I can just go, do I like it? Does it bring something out of me or not?
Yeah.
It's like, because I'm such a big Oasis fan and I
Yeah.
have friends who are like into musical theory and like, but it's so simple and easy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't, it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Radiohead may have a great album of it's them fucking
no alarms and no surprises.
Tom York's like, we did a song and it's 18 songs of just cheese graters.
Yeah, but that's wank too.
That's wanky.
Like ultimately, music.
And I like Radiohead, but I hate Radiohead fans.
I agree with that sentiment entirely, because some people be like, if you're a fan of a certain band, people be like, well, you don't like them. I'm like, I do. I'm just not so into their shit stuff that you are, but I still like it.
I may not have a big poster of Tom York's melting face on the wall,
but I still like it.
Doesn't Tom York look like he held a lighter too close to an action figure?
Yes, he's not a handsome guy. He's not in a good way. Like, but then he's apparently such a shit guy.
He's a wanker.
Like a total wanker. And
he's like Nick Cave. I love his music, but anytime you hear him speak, and he's like the Trump presidency was like a rose burning in a fire, and you're like,
shut up.
Fuck up, you Dracula looking motherfucker. You Australian cunt, but you speak like you're in a castle in the 18th century.
I just think like anyone can like any type of music. It's also like comedy. You know, people are like, who are your favourite comedians? Like, I can like a TJ Miller, and I can like fucking a bit of Bill Hicks. I can meet in the middle.
Some of my favourite comedians really shock people.
Like Cat Williams is probably my top 5. Fuck,
he's brilliant.
Oh, he's a genius.
His last few haven't been great, but that when he was prime,
the Pimp Chronicles. Sorry, it's just
Pimp Chronicles is one of my top 3 specials ever.
Absolutely. And I just think like you can like, because I mean,
fuck Mako.
What do I have in common with Cat Williams? Nothing.
Yeah,
but his comedy makes me laugh because he's fucking hilarious, and you can imagine yourself in that scenario.
He's one of those guys. He was in a lot of shit movies.
Yeah,
but he's great in them.
Yes.
I can't remember. I think he's in like Date movie or something where his son goes to see him in jail, and his wife has a little white baby. And he's like,
is that Date movie or is it something else? I definitely recognize that.
Whose white baby is that?
Yeah.
That baby is not light skinned. That baby is right skinned. That baby has a credit score rating of 4.0 as an infant. It's certainly. His glass is certainly on for an infant. I've never seen a baby with that kind of prescription. It's fucked. He just goes on and on and on.
But he is so good. And again, I think because he's so, I guess, tailored to one specific audience.
Yeah.
That maybe we just don't see him that much. But he is fucking genius.
Oh,
and then there are other people. Like, I don't mind Gerard Carmichael. I don't. But I heard him on Mark Maron's podcast, and I was like, man, fuck up. You know, fuck up. Just be funny and fuck up and stop being so... You know,
this is one thing I was getting into that too, but you need to stop taking yourself so seriously.
Yeah, because
be like, we have something to say. Wait, let's just be silly. Maybe if you have something silly to say and you arrive at a good point,
yes,
do it.
But I think
the point should not be first,
because then it's just a spoken word show. It's poetry,
which is fine. You can do that.
And it's the thing, I don't necessarily love Mark Maron as a stand-up. I love his podcast. I think his podcast is fucking brilliant. I think he's one of the best.
Did you ever hear the one with Gallagher?
I heard they had a full fight on it, and he just hits the face of it.
The last 10 minutes, and it's Gallagher shitting on everyone, and he hates all this comedy. And he goes, these comedians, they couldn't play a state fair. And Maron's had enough. He's like, who the fuck wants to play a state fair? Everybody. And I say that daily. Someone's like, who the fuck wants to go there?
Yeah.
Everybody.
Does hear my Mark Maron impression?
Yeah.
Every episode someone will say something that he doesn't fully like agree with. You go,
I weirdly actually
hey man,
that episode.
Yeah.
I do a good Gallagher.
Yeah, but that was
everybody should listen to me.
But
I've been doing this 40 years.
But then he's another one. It's like needs the emotion of it, and it works for people. But for me, I like to do stand up that I think's funny, and talk about stuff that I would like to hear about, and that's kind of it.
I think when I'm best is when I'm writing something I'm insecure about.
Yeah,
and I'm very insecure about a lot of things.
Yeah,
and that's when I write my best material.
Yeah,
because it's relatable too.
But you know what? Too, do you ever find it? Like I had a gig on Saturday, and I didn't want to be there. I didn't like the room. I was like, I just don't, I wasn't feeling it. And I think I've learnt that I do like
chapel.
I like to perform in like a certain vibe, and I like people to listen. I don't like the whole fucking wild audience shouting stupid stuff that you can't even. I can
do it. I don't like it.
No, but that's the thing. You can do it, but I only think I can do it if I want to do it. If I don't want to do it, I just can't be fucking arsed to do it. It's a pro. Like, and I should be able to just go. But then you know what? Sometimes I get it in my head. It's like, hold on, I don't need to take this fucking shit. It doesn't matter if I'm doing a performance. If it was any other performance,
Yeah.
you would not be expected to finish if you didn't feel happy up there.
Yeah, I
You know
get
what I
it,
mean?
and I respect that.
Yeah.
I approach it differently because I get annoyed.
Yeah.
But I take my annoyance of like, nah, I'm not letting this drunk fucker
Mm-hmm.
be louder and funnier than me. And I'll take control. Like,
Yeah.
to me, I'm like, I want to take control of this room.
But then, you know what?
But
That's,
I get it.
Yeah.
Part of me feels frustrated. This country. I mean, Keezy, we're talking about this. We have a lot of comedy nights. There's very few established clubs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where it's comedy audience and like you
Yeah.
can go and you can take a new bit.
Yeah.
If I do 5 gigs in a week, there's 2 of those places I can really workshop
yeah.
bits.
Yeah. And that's it. And I think my problem is too, so in some places I will, no matter what, go, if I want to work a new bit, I'll put it in. Whether I eat shit or not, I don't give a fuck, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And then that's not maybe the best environment to be trying new bits, but I'm so stubborn. I'll be like, well, I'm doing it anyway, and if it dies, it dies.
Yeah.
And then it's like...
The Ivan Drago of comedy here.
Yeah, I know if it dies, it dies. But and I just, like, that last gig I did was like, I just knew people were just hammered. They'd not been to comedy before. They couldn't give a fuck. They weren't going to like me.
Yeah.
And there's nothing I could have done.
As
I
much
was
as
like, you
I
know
am
what?
from that place and I love that
Yeah.
place, I do not gig in that place.
Yeah, but I think,
For
well,
that
I mean,
reason.
I've done 2, and they've been the 2 worst gigs of my life.
I
so-
have done a lot, and
Yeah.
they never are gigs. They
Yeah.
are me giving out abuse. And this
Yeah.
thing on podcasts, because I'm younger than everyone else, I tend to be, I'm loud in volume, but quite
Yes.
quiet.
Yes.
People don't realise how good at giving shit I am.
Yeah, but that's
That's
you
like
know,
my biggest.
Yeah, but I
thing
you know
that I'm
what?
very good
And
at.
then this is a difference too. And sometimes I'm like, you know what? And this is a problem I have too. Is like if I'm like, you know what? I'm away from my fucking wife and kids here. I don't need to take this shit. Fuck that. You know. And it's like, if you don't want to listen to me, I'm not gonna fucking sit here. I don't care if you like me or I don't. You're not gonna be a fan of me. I don't care. There are people out there that like what I do and want to hear it, and that's
Yeah.
what I'm here to do. But it's like
Is it one of those
you know,
gigs you sit after and you're like, why did I make the life choices
yeah,
that have put
yeah,
me
you know,
on
but
this
then
stage right
on the
now?
other side of that, you're like, fuck, there's a grocery shop for, like, you know what I mean? And that's the problem that I have at the minute, that I think once I move forward through doing Ulster Hall and finishing that run, I'm not going to just be doing every gig anymore. I'm just going
Are
to...
you done with stand-up, or is it going to be like
No, I'm
more
done.
of a hobby?
No, it's going to still be job, but I'm not going to be under the deal of that I have to take every gig.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that anymore because I don't have to. Like, I'm not going to be doing another hour show next year, I don't think. If something comes up and I'm like, fuck, this works and I want to do it, I'll do a show. I will do an hour show in Bangor.
Yeah.
It might be a big show, but I will do it in Bangor. And that's as far as I'll do next year. But as
I,
far as Ulster Halls, this is me done.
Yeah, I'm going the complete opposite way of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like every time I do an hour,
Yeah.
I've scraped an hour. Like I've just got an hour, and there's some bits in I don't like, but
Yeah.
it makes an hour. I think this year I'm going to try and aim to make an hour and a half of good stuff.
Yeah.
So there's half an hour I need to cut.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's what,
That's what I'm aiming
Yeah.
for. And then I think instead of recording my hour,
Mm-hmm.
I might. I was thinking about this actually. I might just try and get a few other comics where we all like 2 others, and we just record half an hour each in
Yeah.
a small sort of setting and clip that.
Well, you know what? If you're open to that, I would be keen to do that.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking of filming my old bits that I haven't filmed
That's what I want to do.
and just having them. But at the same time, with this show, I do really think this is a good show. I'm excited to do the show. And what I found in process-wise that I love is to do work in progress shows and have the show worked. So it's not just the bits.
Yeah.
I like to have the whole thing to try to segue into each other.
Yeah,
And
well, I
like,
do that,
You know,
yeah.
I like that, but I like the work in progress. I like the process of doing the show. I'm excited about doing the work in progress and doing the show. But I think a problem that I've had that I think similar to you and you've said is that sometimes you feel like you can see you or me, we gig so much, you can see us kind of just in a bar randomly in the fucking middle of nowhere
Yeah.
for $5. Why would someone come and see your big show? You know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to step back a bit and
I
be
get
in
that.
less things.
But it's different.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting if you come see me for in a random open mic club
Yeah.
or whatever, you're basically seeing me fuck about.
Yeah.
Which can be, sometimes it's watching a comic who doesn't not give a shit.
Yeah.
But there's very little on the line there.
Uh-huh.
And you're just trying it out for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That stuff I think is what gets you really comfortable on stage. And then coming to see the show is like the proper, there's
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
effort in here, there's a lot riding on it.
Yeah.
It's different. But that's why I want to I want to write a lot more material so that by the time if people see me in Lavery's or whatever and they come see the hour, they're not just getting my material I've done this year, which I feel is what I've done before. They're getting my favourite hour of that material. Yeah, no, I so get if I have way too much, they're getting the best bits.
Because I don't know if this is something that you, because this is definitely something that has weighed in my mind a bit about comedy here. Is it like, and I mean, each to their own, and I'm not having to go with anybody here in the slightest.
But you hate when women do it.
Yeah, well, apart from that, and also homosexuals, guys, get away. But no, I think that a lot of people will do the same material at all the clubs and all this, and then they'll do an our show, and it's like, that's just all that same material.
And I've been guilty of that.
But I try to not do that as much. Now, I try to workshop every bit. Yeah. But I don't want to do the full set or like half a set. And then, so when people do come and see the show, again, the work in progress is, like, I would say, like, having done Edinburgh before and done two, like, the smallest crowd I ever had was one Chinese man that I've ever performed.
In terms of height?
Just one guy in the audience, one Chinese man. So he didn't speak the language. He was in the audience.
Why was he there?
He thought that it was something else, but he was there, and he sat through it all, and he was just like, that was grand. And
in that accent?
Yeah, he went dead on, mate. He was the guy that does the bus tours.
See you later, bro.
He was like, that's fucking spot on. But I just was like, as long as I can physically say and do these bits, that's all right. So for my work in progress shows, I'm just happy to work them, have the notepad there, be like, because whenever I did my last show last year,
don't mind if I do.
Whenever I did the show last year, first work in progress was an hour and a half. I did, and on the night 58 minutes. So that's what I like, is to be able to go, right, where can I press all this shit out? Yeah. But I honestly, I just don't have it in me to start that process again next year. I just don't.
Yeah. Whereas I am. I haven't even started my tour of the last hour. Yeah. And I'm already in the process of writing my next one. But and it's the part that I hate, but it's also the part that's most fun.
But that's the thing too. That is fun. But I just think here, I think the pressure is everything's so gauged towards, a successful show is it's sold out. And that's what a lot of shows here are. And it's like, I do a show every year.
And I can't claim that because I never fucking...
But you know what? But this is again not like, I think you're doing things the right way, in that you're ascending the way you should be. Your trajectory is good, but your actual shows are good shows. And I think there are some people out there that do sell out shows and whatever else, but the show's not great.
But here's the thing, right? And I'm fortunate though that the position I'm in, there's no pressure on me. Yeah, I make money from podcasts and I make money from TV work. Stand up wise, the pressure on me is like, I don't have a family to look after. Really, the only thing I care about is getting my bills paid. And if worst comes to worst, I can take up a part-time job and do that. Yeah. Everyone else has families, everyone else has other commitments. Like I was saying to you, what I'm doing right now is I'm up to about 4 or 5 in the morning. Yeah. Just because my sleeping pattern's different, but I'm just sitting up there in the morning, writing, watching old movies, but not just to watch them, like analytically, and I'm taking like classes and stuff. And but I know I get why other people can't do that. Yeah. I feel I started so young that I've afforded myself the time to do that. Fair. I think the rest of my life will suffer at the hands of getting better at stand-up.
But I think like I have had such a shit few weeks in terms of my own head. Yeah. That the only bright side has been that I've been like watching what I'm doing with my health a bit more. Yeah. And usually the first case for me.
You're looking good though.
Thank you, I appreciate that. But it's a long way to go. But I'm in a good headspace with that. And normally when I get into a bad headspace, that's the first shit to go. Yeah. And I just go fuck I mean eat shit and blah blah blah. But I'm for some reason, whenever I'm like, and there's been a few low ebbs, it's got to the point where I've been like, I need to go and fucking see my doctor here. But again, it's happened to me before, and I've been able, and it always seems to be where my head goes is when I just have too much on.
I always find it weird going to the doctor for depression because you have to sit there and tell them you tried to kill yourself. Yeah. And they just sit there with like the most stone face.
And they're like, all right,
was it with tablets? Was it with...
And it's like, well, I just think with that, it's like,
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh at this point.
But you know what I mean? That's the thing.
It's me, like, that's how
but if you go through stuff that you've gone through, and I know you have...
I'll talk about it.
You have to...
Everyone should try to kill themselves at least once.
Yeah. Or at least think about it.
It's like going to Paris. But you should do it once.
But the thing with that is you have to then, if you're at that point, is at least if you go and speak about it or seek help, you kind of then, in a way, know when you're getting to there again. And I don't think I am at the lowest I've ever been by any stretch, but there was a few days there that I was like, it's en route. And again, it was like, I've done better things, like going for a walk with a dog, or, you know, whereas before I would have probably fucking gone and got a fucking packet of fucking Rocky caramel bars and fucking them into my face.
All of them, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like doing other things. I think as a comedian, and I think as that sort of mind, a lot of comedians' minds are always going, especially nowadays. Yeah. The fact that, like, before you'd have been out doing stand-up,
yeah,
you've been writing a show, or you've been doing whatever. Now you're like, fuck, I need to constantly be putting stuff on social media. I need to be, your brain's never off. And it's
always
not just,
being on social media is the most horrible.
But it's always all different angles of it. It's like, where do I put stuff? Do I put this? I need to put it on social media. I need to do a podcast clip. I need to do a sketch. I need to record a podcast. I need to get this out. I need to do that. Fuck, I have a deadline for this. I'm doing this. I'm fucking showed right. It's a lot of just in your own head, I think. And like, for me now, it's like, I was really, like, I'll be honest with you, I was going to pull my whole show. At one point, my whole show, I was going to pull the tour, the works, because it was making me lose my mind a bit. I've not said that to anyone before, other than Catherine, but that I was getting to the point that I was like, I don't know if I can cope with it.
Well, you also, you know, it's the standard thing to say, but also give me a shout when you're feeling it. Because you did the same for me. There was a while, a month or two ago, I was genuinely getting to that place of like, I am going to try to fucking kill myself because I am just miserable. That's why I stopped drinking.
Yeah.
Turns out that was a big part of it.
Yeah.
But no, you know, say
to
me,
but that's
also,
it,
because I get it. But and also the fun thing about meeting up with each other is we don't do the serious. Are you okay? So like,
take a piss at each other.
Kill yourself,
yeah. And it's like,
so
what are you going to do?
My favourite jokes you do is you say you're too fat to hang yourself.
Yeah, it's like, well, and that's, you know, it's silly, but it's like, I like, because there's a point that we were sort of saying earlier, like when you do stand up, I like to say things that maybe, you know, don't feel like you could just say to somebody and be like, oh, by the way, or to your friends or whatever. Yet if you do it on stage, you are kind of putting it out there a bit how you feel. Yes, it's amped up and it's, but at the same time you're going, hey, shit was bad for a while, but here's a funny side with it. And like, it's such a weird thing, because like, I don't know, it sort of comes at me a bit like waves. Like all of a sudden I could be fine about something, then just all of a sudden I'm like, I just feel, and it was anxiety sort of I was having recently, because I think I was just like, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do that, and then it's like, I can't fucking cope. Shit. And then it's just like, fuck. And I think now that I've kind of figured out what bits I'll cut and do in my show, I'm relieved a bit, and it's trying to just move past that. And I do now know that when that's done, so with Ulster Hall, I genuinely believe, I've said it before, but I genuinely believe it's going to be my best hour. I do. But the process of getting that hour to stage is something I'm not ready to do again next year. And it's just the whole thing, booking a show, you know, the same old shit. Oh, fucking, here's a show, come to this, come to that, please buy tickets. Oh, tickets are slow, fuck, what do you do? And it's like, you know what, I just don't need that pressure for a year. Now, that's not to say I will not do stand-up, because I love doing stand-up, but I do definitely feel like I can take a break unless it hits me that, fuck, I really want to do all this. But for me, because I left my job, because there's a lot riding on it, I guess, like, I want to achieve so much more, so immediately. I've no patience for stuff, whereas I think once I get through this,
it's that instant gratification thing of, I want this.
Whereas it's like, I don't want to be like one of the famous ones. I don't want to be. I like to make funny things and be able to live comfortably doing this for fun, and that's kind of it. But it's like,
I get that though, because I also forget, not to suck my own dick, how young I am, but I'll see like how well Shane's doing, or, you know, Paddy and Mickey, and I'm like, why don't I have that audience now? Forgetting I'm doing very well for what age I am.
But also you have to remember too, I think everyone has different goals and aspirations. I want to go to the bottom of the totem pole across in England. I want to do spots in London, Manchester, Liverpool, just go to the mics, work my stuff, you know, do that, and try to work on that. That's a fun thing that I think I would like to do, to enjoy. You're killing it with that sort of stuff. You've been a new comedian of the year, you've gone to the final of that. You know, the stuff you've done in the last year, you've had your own blap, starred in it. It's brilliant, you know what I mean? And I just for me, I want to focus more on the writing in the next wee while. And I just think, I don't care if people like podcasts, I love stand up, I love, but at the same time I don't love the constant promo. I don't love the constant putting myself out there. I don't like going to meet people. I don't like doing any press. It just makes me uncomfortable.
Press is awful.
But you know what I mean? And that's the sort of thing. And it's like,
that's an art form in and of itself, to make a newspaper or radio interview entertaining.
Yeah. But see, when people say to you,
that's
they're like,
an art. I can't do it.
How do you go on stage? It's because it's like, it's just a relief to get up there and mess around.
Yeah.
But the process of getting there, it's sometimes
how do you go on stage? Because the dopamine hit that you get once you've done really well in a big room is I got the biggest dopamine rush I got last night in the Sunflower, because it was 10 new minutes that I'd never done, and it all went well. It wasn't like fucking people falling over that, but it got the good laughs for the room it was in. It's it's almost stand-up stops being fun once you know a joke works. And you know it's gonna it starts to make, like, you get about a 2-month 3-month period where you enjoy that, and then after a while you get bored because you're like, no, this joke fucking works, and you can see that in your face of like there's no passion in it. The most fun part is like the getting rid of the safety net of good material, and you're like, I could fucking bomb here, I could fucking bomb, and that's fun. Now when you do bomb, it's awful, but it is fun.
But then, do you ever, like, obviously, I don't mind bombing if I think something's funny and it's not. You know? I don't mind if I write a new bit and I'm like,
You can bomb gracefully. You do learn to bomb gracefully.
But then at some point you're just like, what am I? And, like, see if you are struggling and it's like, I don't know. Like, there's nothing worse. It's like, why did I put myself through this shit?
Like, I'd say I bombed last week at Lavery's on the Wednesday. But when I do that, when I know the material's bombing, I just start crowd working and riffing, which I think I'm good at. So I can, like, manage to, you know, you're still bombing. But you can get something out of it.
I get you. But,
you know what I mean?
I don't know. It's just, it's strange, you know, and I mean, it's a strange feeling to have, to be like, you know, we're doing this show, it's working towards it. But at the same time, I'm looking forward to being finished with it.
I get why, because it is. I think the process I'm doing now, which I described to you, I'm not going to go through it on this, but the process I'm doing now is the most fun I've had. Writing stuff, because I'm learning. About weird shit. And it's almost like being in uni again, but I just get to decide what I'm learning about. Like a little trick, because I was doing the Alan Moore course in writing. He went, just pick a random book. About fucking anything, and just read it. You don't have to enjoy it. But even if you do that, you've learned something just reading this random shit. And I've been doing that. So I'm reading a book by Richard Osman at the minute, the fucking Midnight Murderers Club, right? My personal opinion is a bit shit.
The guy from Pointless?
Yes.
Nice.
It's a bit shit. Not shit. Not for me.
Yes.
It's very middle of class. It's about pensioners solving murders.
My favorite thing.
It fucking bores me. I'm not enjoying it. But if I finish that book, I'm gonna be happy I've read it.
See, the only downside I have, and I think this is something I realised today when I was trying to put a hook into the wall. It's because I'm trying to hang myself. I was trying to put a sturdy hook into the wall that wouldn't come out under any circumstance.
You're gonna need a bigger wall.
No, what it was for, because I've been getting more into my training. I'm enjoying it at the minute. I'm feeling it's working. It's great. I used to be big into my triceps. I still love my triceps. At the minute, I just feel they're gone. So, like, I've been trying to put this hook in so I could put my exercise bands through the hook and just fucking pump my triceps. But I haven't been able to get the fucking the plugs into the wall. And I have me fucking, and it's like, I ordered these hooks and it's a perfect size. I'm drilling through, the drill's not going through the wall. The fucking plugs aren't getting in the wall. It took me an hour before I just gave up. And the problem is, no matter what, until I know I am this, I will fight to the end of something until I know there's no way I'm going to succeed at this. And see how my head goes, it was like golf. See how my head goes, I'm done. Like on the golf course, if I'm trying to hit a ball in my head, I snap. Like back in wrestling terms, like when Ken Shamrock used to get in the zone, see when I snap and lose my head, I can't do it. Like I got the point today where my hand was back.
Red and shit.
Oh, my hand was back and I was about to fucking fully dig the wall. And I realised, I'll break my hand. This is too far. Then I stepped off the ladder. I looked at all the wee fucking plugs that had fallen on the ground from this thing and hadn't fucking fit and hadn't drilled and nothing. And I thought, I have wasted an hour of my life trying to do this. And that annoyed me 10 times more. I'm like, wasting my time is the worst thing.
And
in
you're
the
a dude
world.
who, when they get angry,
Oh my
you
God.
can't bring yourself back down from it.
No.
You're annoyed for ages.
Yeah.
You're not like me who gets intensely angry
Yeah.
for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then, like,
Oh.
I'm fine. Like, you've seen me angry.
Yeah.
And it's just me shouting for like a 10-minute period, just screaming, and then
Yeah.
you'll see me a minute later, and I'm like, I'm alright now.
Yeah. When I get angry, I'm like,
Whereas you have that, your mum's annoyed at you at the parent-teacher conference, but she can't hit you in public energy.
yeah.
And
No,
that's you
and
for
I
2
just-
days.
And I just can get so fucking annoyed. And that just really just.
When you
fucking-
are angry, you won't admit you're angry. And I know when you're angry.
But the thing about it is, see, when I'm angry, I've got better at it now because, like, I'll say to Catherine or whatever, I'll be like, I'm not angry at you.
Yeah.
I'm not angry at the kids. I'm just angry. I just need a minute. So just give me a wee minute. Rather than sometimes I'll be angry and she'll be like, blah, 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 and it's, you know, we'll end up getting in an argument and I'll only argue because I'm angry.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, sometimes, and it almost becomes funny because she's like, okay, are you all right? Do you need a wee minute? And I'll be like, yes, I do need a minute. I'm just, because of whatever the fucking, like, chemicals in your body are, I just get so worked up. Now, that's a good energy if you channel it right.
Yeah.
Like, if you were to, like, fucking be lifting big weights or you were to be fucking in a fight or something, great. But in day-to-day life, that's not the energy that you need. And, like, if like, I have, I mean, I'm not looking brazen on this or anything, but I've never hit my kids. You know, I never will. I never would want to.
Yeah.
But there are times in my mind where I'm like, oh my God, I could throttle you. But then you have to just walk away.
I think
and
hitting
go,
the kids is a mother's job.
yeah, well, my mum definitely took that and was
Yeah.
like, I'll do that for sure.
Yeah.
But, like, I just think whenever you go, like, to know when you, like, this is what I would say is, for me, in age, I've learned, like, when I was younger and I would get into fights with my mates or something, I would have had to fucking have the last word, had to fucking argue, and then it escalates and gets you nowhere. Whereas now, if I'm angry, like, the good thing with parenting, if one of my kids do a head in, I'll just go into Catherine and be like, go in there, I'm not dealing with it.
Yeah. Part of me is like, I would never want to, like, like, my dad would just fucking, like, punch you.
Yeah.
If you were, like, he would openly
Yeah.
just punch you. When you were a kid, like, my mum would be different.
Yeah.
Different kind of hitting. Your dad just assaulting children,
Yeah.
essentially. But, I wouldn't say, like, I'd never hit my kids. I don't think I would
Yeah.
ever hit kids like I would a person.
Yeah.
Do you know, like a fucking back of the head.
Yeah.
What
But
are you doing?
I would
Or
hit,
like a back of the legs, or like arse.
yeah, but I would hit other kids. Like, if they fucked with my kids, I would have no problem hitting them. Like, I remember I hit kids when I was about, fucking must have been my early 20s, and I didn't have kids, obviously, at
And
the
you're
time.
hitting kids?
But I hit probably a 15, 16-year-old, yeah. I was, it's a true story, and I mean, I was at work, right, and at the time my mum was working, and she was working round the corner from me, so she would have brought me into work in the morning, we'd gone home. So she had finished work and was round to the car, and it rang me to be like, my mum, so this has happened actually twice with my mum. First time I was in a night out in the Odyssey, right? This is not where I hit a kid though, this is a different story. She rang me and it's like, she just collected me from the night out, sound of her. She's ringing me and I was like, you know, when you look at your phone, you're like, fuck you off here, I'm on a night out. Fucking come in 10 minutes. When you told me to stop ringing me. But she rang me again. I was like, I'm going to answer this. So I picked it up and she was like, there's some guy making me really uncomfortable here. He's like fucking just shouting stuff through the window and gesticulating at me and like banging the window and just scaring me sort of thing.
At her?
Like gesticulating, like fucking going, like making all this fucking stuff. And I don't know what it was, but in that moment I just went like, and I've like fucking so furious. And I just was like, right, I'm leaving. And I fucking bombed down the Odyssey Street, you know, just along the under the road. And there was a guy smoking a cigarette. And I just went to my mum, who was it? And she went, oh, it's this guy. And I went, you have a fucking problem? And the guy was like, oh, what do you mean? He goes, you think you're fucking big man speaking to my mum like that? And he was like, well, no. I goes, you're going to apologise? And he goes, oh, no, he's smoking a cigarette. And I remember I took a cigarette. I said, the fucking cigarette out of your mouth and stomped it and grabbed him by the collar and said, you fucking say you're sorry. Hit his head off the window until she opened the window. Say sorry. And he was like, I'm sorry. And go, see if you fucking ever speak to her like that again, I'll break every bone in your body. I remember my mum going, what the fuck?
Your mum's like, I was just saying.
But and then to be fair, he fucked off. But like again, that's the problem. Whereas I didn't know if he had kicked off, if I could have controlled myself.
Was this Nordy Shore time? So this guy's getting his fuck kicked in by Beansy?
It's probably actually before that.
Rat.
But the other time was probably so I was at work leaving. She rang me. I was like, I'm in the car here. their kids throwing stones at the window, and they're fucking throwing water balloons in there.
People just abusing your mum every time she picks you up.
So whenever that happened, I was just like fucking. So I went there, and I just lost the head. I had a bag with me, and I was just with my bag. I fucked the bag of the car and just chased these things. And I went into Donegal Pass. I just fucking chased them in Donegal Pass, and I don't know. I just caught up to them, and as I was running, I remember the thought going through my head, being like, "What am I going to do when I catch them?" And I just got closer and closer, and I just fucking back of their head like a big bear slap and knocked the one over, and he bumped into the other, and I said, "You fucking speak to her again, I will kill you." Now with hindsight, having worked at Donegal Pass, stupidest thing I've ever done. I could have just fully had my head shot, not my knees, my head, but I just lost the head so much, and I worry that, you know, if I lose the head with the wrong people sometime, I'm fucked. And that's why sometimes at gigs with people, I'll not want to engage in. Because if you know an audience member's not going to, you know, they're just a scumbag or something, and they're just going to glass you or something, I would fucking lose a head, man. Like at a fight outside the bot once, you know.
But why does that matter when you blow the roof off?
You know the bouncer in Pugs we all love. Not say his name on the podcast.
Yes.
But
he ruins every date I go on.
Yes, I'd well believe it. But he turns out we had a chat about this. He was like the head bouncer in the bot one night, and I had got into my only fight that has fully been a fight was there's a guy, and I don't know what this guy was doing. He was being a dickhead, but he slapped my mate's phone out of his hand. Again, I was probably early 20s, slapped the mate's phone out of the hand, and then as he went down to pick it up, the guy just fucking decked him in the head. What the fuck is he doing? So I got him like effectively a master lock, held him kind of tight, and just like jumped up on him. So I held the master lock and jumped up, and then so we were both on the ground, but he can't do it, and he's trying to headbutt me, but I just was able to block that. And I got up, just pushed the neck forward. So we got kicked out basically, and I was like, "Why are you kicking me out?" I just stopped. You know, that guy's fucking beat my friend. He's like, "What the?" And I really lost the head with the bouncers and all. And then they kicked me out. So I was on the phone to the guys inside. So me and my mate got kicked out, and this other fellow was obviously kicked out too. And my mate was sitting on the ground, just minding his own business. And this guy came out whilst I was on the phone and just ran past and booted my mate in the face. And I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" So I grabbed him, and like I just pushed him away, and he came at me again, another one of his mates. And then I pushed him away again, was like, "I don't want to," like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, and I remember saying to the bouncer, "What the fuck is he doing?" And then whatever happened, I think obviously I was still a bit body conscious. He pulled my shirt and ripped it open, and when my shirt looked down and saw my belly out, I was like, "Oh no, it's over." So I just grabbed him and just slammed him on the ground. I just remember ground and pounding him until the bouncers pulled me off, and like the police and all had been called. My hand was so sore, like fucking, I see this day, feel there's like a weird lump where I think I must have cracked my hand, and that's the only time I fully lost it. And there's blood all over my shirt, and then I went home and was like, and my finger was just not the same since. And after that I went, and like I was told, "Oh, you're banned off from the bar," and then I went back like probably 4 or 5 months later, and I got called out. The bouncers like come out here and pulled me out into like all fucking corridors, and there were about 6 bouncers being like, "You're barred." But I'd been there for like an hour already, blocked, got a load of drinks, got my money back, and got my coat and all. It was grand. But at that time I was like, fuck, I love how they had to have 6 bouncers like your Goldberg. I know, but then again, that's when you're like, and it's all well and good. I think that's why I need to be a bit more chilled, because if I lose it, I'm a fucking psychopath. Yeah. Last time I got in a fight in a nightclub, I don't even know why the fight started, right? But I was there with a friend. One was a guy, one was a girl, right? Mm-hmm. And I just saw, I was away, it was in Limelight, right? And I saw 2 people. I was over like getting drinks or whatever, and then I saw like people squaring up to my mates, right? And when I see that happen, I'm like the American police. Yeah. Shoot first, questions later, right? That's me in a nightclub. And also there was one of the guys slobbering to the girl who was my friend, and I'm very defensive of women. Not in like, I just don't like them being slobbered to, and I also kind of want to fuck her. So I was like, maybe if I punch him in the head, you know, if I knock him out, she might suck my dick. Do you know what I mean? Like if I win this fight, finger in the ass for me. Yeah. So I start this, like they weren't fighting. Mm-hmm. It was just argument, and then I just came over and punched him. Oh no. And I mean, I couldn't see who it was in the dark. I just knew there was this figure I was fighting, and we were kicking the fuck out. Like, I mean, I knocked him down, he knocked me down, I got up, punched him. At one point I punched him, and I heard one of the bouncers go, "Jesus Christ," because I could see his face like change shape as I hit him. So the bouncer grabs me and grabs this guy and pulls us out and throws us away, right? Yeah. But he didn't separate us, so we're still beside each other when he threw us out. I turned around to punch him, he turned around to punch me, and we stopped mid-punch. I went to primary school with him. Yeah. So we literally like, "Jordan, mate, what are you doing? I haven't seen you in fucking years." And we're like, didn't even know what was you. And a minute ago, I'm trying to fucking knee him in the head.
And then the bouncers were like, came over and were like, stop fighting. We're like, nah, no, Wisconsin, can we get back in? They were like, no, you just started like a 40-man brawl in there. And we're like, I was like, you want to go somewhere? So me and him just went for pints.
That's classic.
Sitting like bleeding from the head, being like, fuck, that was something else.
I mean, fuck me, what do we like? Fucking couple of chancers, fuck a few glasses
that was
of
me and
ale.
Tim McGarry the last time we fought.
And the most important question, did you get a finger BRs?
I did not. I mean, that fight was for nothing.
I was wondering, I thought the set was about to fall down, but there's a daddy long legs.
A daddy long legs?
A daddy long legs upstairs.
Oh
So
my
that's what it
God.
was. I thought it was the fucking.
Oh
the
my
set was
God,
about to
that
fall
is a
down.
daddy long legs?
That's the big daddy long legs.
Jesus.
So yeah, how long is that saying on that?
53 minutes.
53, that's enough. Listeners' questions. And
Oh, we got questions,
We've work to do. Aye. Hold on.
Fuck, that's right, with work. God, I hate work.
Oh wow. I know work is shit. Oh wow, I just got an email from WWE. Do not miss the Clash at the Castle.
When is that?
We'll try not, lads. It's this weekend.
Oh, our friend Robert is going to that.
Robert McShane.
Robert McShane, indeed.
Nice, that'll be a lot of fun to go to. I mean, I feel like this podcast has been a miserable podcast. I apologise about that.
No, fuck them. No, I mean, they're all funny.
Fuck them.
What do you mean it's miserable? Have you not enjoyed talking to me?
No, I have, but also I just don't want people to think I'm an angry guy. I channel my anger well, and I'm not violent. But the odd occasion, I'll lose the head.
I crack up very easily, but I don't mean it. I don't mean it at all.
John Joe said, you have plenty of guests on for the Patreon, but I'm going to pitch an idea. Have a one-off weird podcast show co-hosted with Naomi Mitchell. She seems to have an unlimited supply of weird stories and links. I mean, yeah, she definitely does, but unfortunately the weird podcast is dead and buried.
Oh, is it? What happened to the weird podcast?
It became the SLY Guy podcast, mate.
Right, okay.
So there we go. It's oh, here's a good one. I mean, this is definitely a change of tone. Are burps worse than farts? And that's from Daniel McTiernan.
No.
But I think
fart's way worse than a burp.
But I think a burp's more offensive.
Do you know what I mean? It's funny to burp in someone's face. To fart in someone's face is the.
But I think a bad smelling burp's worse than a bad smelling fart.
It lingers. It does linger.
It's stinking, and you're like, you're gross. You know, if they do, it's like, what are you doing? I think I've got.
What's a better relief to do? A burp or a fart?
Ooh, a shit usurps everything.
Yeah,
but
I wasn't talking about
a big burp. Like sometimes, like I will.
Did
go,
you just fart? Nah, man, I've shit myself.
But I'll go and get like a Diet Coke if I'm really like, oh, I've got wind here, and turn into Tom Jones. Oh, I've got wind here. But I would go and get a Diet Coke, and that always gets the burps out, and then the relief of that's great.
I see.
I don't know whether I've been having a heart attack or not, but we'll find out.
Thought I had a heart attack. No, just burped.
Just need a burp, feel much better. Speaking of the co-host of the One Off Weird podcast, Naomi Mitchell has sent me a link and said, fancy being part of the trial. And, oh wow.
I thought it was the OnlyFans or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Kids are kids.
Kids can breathe through their buttholes.
Pigs can breathe through their buttholes, and so could you, scientists say.
Same before you read that.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I don't know, because I read a thing to say that, or today actually, that the first part of your body to develop in the womb is your anus.
Yeah.
So before you're anything else, you're an arsehole.
It's like a blowhole.
Yeah.
For a whale.
So you could probably learn to breathe out it. Oh no, hold on. Why is this the article? Pink, fleshy and round. The anus has a lot in common with the mouth, and it's every bit as important.
Journalism's went to shit, man. This is someone's job to sit down and not only type this, take it to an editor.
Yeah.
Who looked at it and went, yes.
A team of scholars in Japan has found that pigs can absorb oxygen through the anus. But I mean, that does make a lot of sense, because don't people put stuff up their ass like gear and all?
Yeah.
And coke?
Yeah.
Because it absorbs up there. So maybe I can see it working too. Now, I don't know if it's connected to the
Aye, but
lungs.
no one's going, fuck, I'm struggling for breath, and I'm bending over and just...
Well, maybe that's what you need to do. Instead of mouth to mouth, it's ass to mouth.
Hey guys, do you know what? Scientists been like, maybe you can breathe through your buttholes. Cure cancer.
Yeah, scientists are like, you know what would be a good idea? We need to breathe through the butthole.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like,
yeah.
Cure cancer.
Cure cancer.
Nah.
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, breathe through your asshole. Come on.
Come with me if you want to breathe.
But he would love that, because he's coming in the gym. He's coming day and night. But if I could breathe out my asshole, I could come out my cock. Oh, but yeah, I mean, I would like to trial breathing out my arsehole for sure.
If you're breathing through your asshole, none of his housekeepers be able to breathe.
Oh wow, Chris Reezy for some reason he's the weirdest, definitely, but also potentially the most intellectual guy I've ever seen.
Really?
I come across. Listen to this. He always asks me questions that leave me confused.
Okay.
Who decided what's right and wrong? Also, what is freedom and does it really exist? Hey, man. Whoa.
Boy hit a bong before he typed this.
Yeah.
Who decides what's right and wrong? Society. What is freedom and does it really exist? Yes and no.
Well,
There is
there
no
you
such
go.
thing as true freedom, because true freedom would be anarchy. True freedom would be you do whatever you want to do, but even then, someone else doing what they want to do onto you would infringe upon your freedom.
Say that again.
So true freedom is doing whatever you want to do, freedom of consequence. Mm-hmm. But
Take that off the table. It's going to sound terrible.
sorry, but even so, if everyone had true freedom, that would eventually infringe upon someone else's freedom, because they would attack you
Yeah.
or murder you or steal. That infringes upon your freedom. There's no such
But
thing as true freedom. You
it's-
wouldn't want true freedom.
But it's an interesting... Like, listen, I'm a big believer in rules, and I think rules are required, and codes are required for people to behave in a certain way.
Yeah. See, when people are like, "Oh, there should be no such," I was talking to someone, and they were like, "The police, they're just protectors of the private estate." I went, "No, they do stop crimes."
Yeah.
And he went, "No, they don't. That's not what they do." And I went, "Go outside and try a rape, right?
Yeah.
You try to rape in the street, and you see how quick someone phones the fucking police." Right? I hate that bullshit.
Yeah. But I mean, the police need more police. That's kind of the problem, isn't it?
That's you want the bigger police.
I
state?
want my police to, like, I went through a phase of being like, just make the police super enforcers of justice. Make them like Judge Dredd. Send them out there and let them fucking kick shit out of people.
So France, you want
Yeah,
France?
I want the French police to come out here. Fuck it, bring in the Garda Civil and just let them loose.
Yeah.
Because I remember a mate of mine punched someone in a nightclub, was sent to jail for the night, and we went to see him, and he was a purple guy. And we were like, "What happened to you?" And he was like, "Oh, the Garda Civil kicked the fuck out of me." And
Oh,
we're like,
they just do.
But then instead of being like, "Oh my god, that's an infringement to your rights," he was like, "Oh, I was bang out of order and deserved a kicking."
Yeah.
You know, and we're like, "Oh well."
I remember when we were holidaying in Magaluf, we would sit in this beach until about 6 or 7 in the morning smoking weed.
Oh, why?
And the only reason we
Oh,
would
why?
go back to the hotel is because at about 7
More
in the
weed?
morning, the
All right.
Spanish police would show up with batons.
Oh, they borrowed off the French police.
Yeah.
They turned up with the batons.
And they just beat the fuck out of English people.
Yeah.
They'd literally find the English dudes and kick the shit. So they're all passed out, pilled up and whatever.
Yeah.
Just sitting like this. And the Spanish police are just grabbing them by the throat, fucking them on the ground, like letting their dogs attack them and stuff. And we would see this. It would be like a slow moving process of people
But
getting
like,
their fuck knocked out. And we were like, oh, grab the supplies and we
But I
shall
like
leave.
that a bit because I think like people aren't like see that down in Crawfordsburn in the beach when everyone was just fucking wrecking the place. All the kids are just in the police and they're all trying to fight back the police. See if you sent in a wave of armoured like super police. Like if you sent the Garda Civil in there, it'd be no problem.
Yeah.
Just be kicking. Now I'm not saying use guns or anything because hey, I'm not totally wild.
You would
but
be the
send them in with
worst
batons.
police enforcer of Northern Ireland ever. That's what you're like. Oh, what
Yeah.
happens if we brought some more police to Northern Ireland?
Yeah, but you know what I
That
would do?
worked so well for 40 years.
But what I would do would be only the kids. You know, I would just send them in for just antisocial behaviour on kids.
Alright, okay.
Kick the fuck out of them. But you know what? It would be both sides, treat everyone the same. If you're out of order, you just get a whipping.
Fair enough.
In fact, I'd be like Eric Bischoff. I'd have a 3-minute warning. I'd say, listen guys, you have 3 minutes to knock us in the head.
Before two Samoans come and kick the
Otherwise,
fuck out.
yeah, I'm sending the Garda Civil in. Sam wants to know what the best and worst comedy gigs.
The best of regular or just ever?
I mean, I don't know. Probably like the you know what? The best gigs are comedy clubs that
Yeah.
have a comedy audience.
Actual clubs are the best.
See if venues know how to run a comedy night, they're the best clubs.
Yeah.
Audiences that know how to watch comedy are the best clubs. The worst ones are just ad hoc ones. That
It's in
nobody
a
knows how to
social
run.
club.
Yeah, and people just are like, actually, I'm here to shout no and be fucking off my face on gear. They're
Yeah,
the worst.
They're the worst.
But who cares? Next
Yeah.
question. Stephen has said, oh no, Dave, you're a pivotal member of the comedy scene. Your work is unbelievable, whether that be podcasting, stand-up, comedy, writing and sketches. Please keep it up. Smash these next few shows, onwards and upwards. Cheers, Stephen. That's just a kind a kind word of support, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Especially after this week. And hey, don't make me angry, or I'll turn like the.
Wasn't really a question though, Steve. So.
Yeah. So there we go.
Oh, not this guy.
Yeah, we'll move on.
No.
Patrick Quinn has said, "What is it like for you these days being out for the night? Do you get tortured for selfies, or do people generally give you privacy? Must be hard having to constantly be on great form with people if they recognise you."
Yeah, we're pretty spot on with it.
Yeah, well, you know what? I went to see Paolo Nutini the other night.
Was he shite?
You know what? He
was shite when I saw him.
He was good at singing, but he didn't sing all the classics.
Did he do that as well?
Yeah, but then he was playing all this like fucking weird hippie stuff.
Yeah, one good.
And then but like again, great singer, great musician, but then he doing all this stuff, and then he just goes, "Oh, I've got my new shoes on. No, got my new shoes on," and that was his new shoes.
He did that as well when we went to see him for Liam Gallagher.
Yeah,
I just played this random song, and just it was really heavy, and at the end he would just go, "After all, I got my baby," and the whole crowd was into it. And you're like, "Hey, maybe do that song." Here's the thing, right? Because people were like, "Oh, I went to see this guy. It didn't sound good." I would rather it sound awful, but the energy is good. Yeah. But that was sound the thing, good and the energy's bad. And now there was a guy at the gig who, and this was very enjoyable, was walking out and I was in front of him and he was going, "That was fucking shit, mate. That was fucking," he did none of the songs we know, and he goes, and he goes, another one of his mates I think went to him, "Oh, but I've never fucking seen Liam Gallagher do Wonderwall," and then his mate goes, "You've never seen Liam Gallagher live?" And he goes, "I know, but what's that? who cares?" Like that. And it's like, what does he even mean? And also, if he's never seen, that's how you know he's never seen Liam Gallagher do Wonderwall. Why does he do it? Every time. Yeah, because I've seen him and I thought he did it. Or he'll give you the option to do it. Yeah, I haven't seen him do that, but that was funny. Now, at Paolo Nutini, there was a lot of people being like, "I grab a selfie," it was nice. People were very civil, which is nice. Yeah. And again, I think people realise whenever, like, and again, it happens the all time, but you don't want to. It's not like you're a fucking Brad Pitt or anything. No, it's not crazy. But again, I think more often than not, people will go, "Oh, love your stuff, very funny, blah blah." Now, the awkward moment for me at Paolo Nutini was I have been eating well and eating clean and whatever else. We went out to Pizza Punks for dinner before the gig, and had the Mexican pizza, and I could just feel it rumbling in my tummy. And I was like, "Oh no!" And we got into position. And I was like, "Oh no!" But I turned to Tom Jones and "Oh no!" I was like, "I'm going to shit real bad here." So I went to go to the toilet, and I was standing in line to the cubicles, and one of the guys working at the toilets recognised me, and he came up to me and he goes, "Here, mate, you don't have to queue there. There's urinals around there. I'll walk you around." And I was like, "Unless you want me to shit in the urinals, I'm kind of just going to have to hang here for a bit." And he goes, "Oh, I've got a VIP for you, mate. Come on, to shit in here." And he tried to just get me. He tried to get me to go to the disabled toilet, and he's like, "I'll stand at the door, and if anyone has a problem, I'll tell them you're disabled." And I went, "I'm good, mate. I'll just hang here." Now, I did the shit, and the guy did hang outside the toilet. Did he think you were me? I don't know what he thought, but he, to be fair, gave me some VIP treatment. Either that, or he looked at me and went, "His shits are going to stink." But when I came out of the toilet, he had a dude there with one of those pump cleansers to just go in the whole toilet, and I was like, to be fair, felt right as rain after that. And it was hosing down a fucking genocide. It was like, no, this is a problem. It's a crime scene cleanup, but it was a nice time. For many more, because I am dying. Yes, we've a couple more, and then you're off the hook. Fucking make it a good one, because I'm holding it like. Right, hold on, couple more. Ian Thompson wants to know if I'll go sea swimming with him at the weekend. No. You know what? No, maybe. Freak. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Voldemort looking fucker, Ian. Speaking of Voldemort looking fuckers, your dick needs to be released from your pants and piss needs to come really out. Badly needs to. So William, you can go. Thank you for coming on again. Fucking bit of a heavy episode, but yeah, well, that's podcasting, isn't it? That's podcasting. Up the hoods. We talk about what we want. I'm only seeing this camera. I wanted my mustache cut thinner, and I haven't done it. Do yourself, mate. Will you pair of trimmer scissors? Can't. You know what, mate? If you'd have told me, I'd have brought my trimmer scissors. But it's very thick, isn't it? It's very UDR. Yeah, it is. But I mean, what I would say, don't cut the beard off and just keep the mustache, because every Tom, Dick and Harry's mustache now, it's not cool anymore. I can grow a better mustache than I can grow a beard. Yeah, well, your mustache, you have a good, like, this is how I judge a good mustache. I don't have a lot of space between my nose and my top lip, so when I grow a mustache, it's quite thin. You have a good thick mustache, and it looks good. See if you're ever cast as an RUC man. I could do it. You'll kill it. I could do it. Kill it. Listen, it's been a pleasure. Always chatting to you, my friend. Yes, thank you for having me. Let's go for piss, and then we need to get to work. Oh, so, I mean, you're not coming with me for the piss, but no, we are. We're pissing together. Cheerio.
I'm the sly guy.